hated Arcane. It's an example of bad writing and we shouldn't encourage it. It's shit. I don't want to encourage it. We shouldn't encourage bad behavior. I watched the end of Arcane. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I haven't seen it. Okay, spoilers. I have seen non-stop Arcane. I know on like the review site, they gave Arcane like 9 point whatever on every single episode of season 2. I didn't like it. They rushed it. Yeah, it was super rushed. The thing is, like, when the show does not get any discourse on the actual story, and the only discourse is happening because of like LGBT themes, like, you know that the show is probably a little bit weak. Like, you know, like, it's the only things I saw about it were like, oh, Caitlyn Vigay. There's nothing else to talk about. They were like, oh my god, Aiko and Jinx love each other. Oh my gosh, they animated this like in like a memory in 4 FPS or something. But they were like, oh, they animated this part so beautiful. Like, this art is so meaningful. This relationship is so good. I hadn't seen a single thing about the story. And I was like, is that on purpose because of spoilers? I actually don't even think so. I don't think that it was because like spoilers. I actually think the story was so weak that there was literally nothing to say. There was like nothing to say about the story. I thought the story was okay, but it's way too rushed. Yeah, the pacing was so bad that I feel like the story was non-existent. Just, okay, from someone who doesn't, like, I actually enjoy League of Legends and the lore that they built. I really wanted to see the world building and everything. As someone who doesn't really give a shit about romance, I gotta say, Arcane was mid as fuck. It was like very just okay. Piltover's boring and it sucks. No, I liked Piltover. Just like they did not elaborate on the Arcane at all. What the f is the Arcane? Like, sure, you don't really need to make it call back to the game or anything like that, I guess, because it's a whole new thing. But at the same time, it's like, maybe a little explanation would have been cool. Like, what the fuck is the Arcane? What even is that? What is it? What is it? And then like, why is Ambessa attacking the city? Why? Why is she attacking the city now? I don't understand. Like, is there a reason why? Oh, we got more food. Is there a reason why? Like, she's just so pissed that she like, you know, wants to, huh? Is there a reason? The Arcane is the friends we made along the way. It was really mid for me. It was really mid for me. I was, I guess, just kind of disappointed. I don't know. I wanted more. I wanted more. The worst part was the forced weird sex scene. I didn't really like the sex scene very much. I don't know. They kind of fucked up with Ambessa. They made her do some really illogical actions contrary to her character previously. She was still decent, but squandered hard by poor writing staff. It was like really fucking sad because I feel like her character was really cool and like actually very complex. The way they wrote her, like, she was very focused on her family, and then like I guess her daughter went missing, but then she was just kind of like, whatever, and then she went crazy, and then she wanted to destroy the like I guess she knew. We didn't know anything about the Black Rose, by the way. The Black Rose was really shoehorned in as like a random like, is that in the lore even? Does anyone know? Like, is the Black Rose in the lore as like the villain to Noxus? Does anyone know? Like, are they actually fighting Noxus? Was that in the thing? They tried to make a story with no villain that never works. Like, if Ambessa was the villain the whole time, it would have made more sense. But then they were like, yeah, like, I don't like the Black Rose because they've got magic, and that's why I want to exterminate all magic. And I was like, oh, okay, but like, it just seems really random. It just seems a little random, I guess. They barely went in on the Noxus Black Rose feud either. It was so fucking random when they brought it in. They just randomly went like, oh yeah, and by the way, the Black Rose is here. Okay. They should have made it 12 episodes, not tried to fit everything into 9. They should have had another season. Does anyone care about LoL lore? If you make a show, you better fucking care about lore, yeah. Yes. Even if the League lore is not that good, you should care about League lore when you're making a fucking whole show about it. You can't just make a show that's half-assed mid lore. I think they're going to do another show that does Noxus, Demacia, and Ionia. I don't care. Like, I think that actually speaks to how weak the writing was. Because when you have a show that like is not solid enough in its first season, it's a bad show. You can't make a show that's like bad for 1 season and then picks up the second season. It's a straight up bad show. I would say the same about any show. Even if it was better in the 2nd season or in the 3rd season, it's just a bad show if it's not good. And she continues to watch Rings of Power. I'll watch anything. I'll watch literally anything. It's my job to think about stuff. I thought Arcane 1 was amazing. Arcane 2 really dropped the ball. Also, what really bothered me about Arcane 2 was the art style started to really grate on me, actually. I liked it in the first season. I don't know what it was. It almost felt like the first season was more three-dimensional than the second season. Cause like the second season, it seemed like, I know that they're probably using the same engine and stuff, but like, it felt like the second season had a lot more painted scenes. Like the first season seemed more three-dimensional. Like they would walk through the alley and you would see the whole alley shift around the characters because it was painted in 3D. This one, it felt like a lot of scenes were just like painted and then they dropped 3D characters in them. I don't know, it really bothered me. It felt really kind of lame. All the painted scenes in those music video sections, I fucking didn't. I hated the music video part. That was also like gimmicky as fuck. So gimmicky. It just felt like lazy. Felt kind of lazy. Piltover in background looked dull. Is this the L take stream or the base take one? It's a take, okay? It's just a take. General take. I don't know if it's an L take. No, I know that Riot really wanted to do this kind of thing. Like, I think Riot wanted to get out of making games and get into making more other stuff. So I think good for them that they did it. And just everyone I've spoken to hated the music videos. It was so fucking random, right? They wanted to make music. I didn't like all the music choices either. I can't tell if I'm just like pissy or what. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I finished it out. Overall take, no substance. Rushed? It's like they don't know how to write a story or something, because you can't just randomly shoehorn in a villain that had no pre-existing reasons to do shit. That's fucking dumb. People enjoyed the music in the first season, but extrapolated that to do it in the most obnoxious way and misunderstand why people originally liked it. It was good in the first season because it added to the world. They used it pretty well. It was just excessive. They did it for every single episode. It wasn't carefully placed. There's a lot of cases lately where writers just don't know how to properly write an ending to their story. If they'd left a more open
All Arcane
cliffhanger...
Season 2 did was set up the Noxus show, which I'm hyped for because I want to see people die in horrible war crimes.
I don't like that. A show should be good on its own. I fucking hate, like, this happens with books too. I fucking hate when, like, people make something that is contingent on a second part. That's so fucking lazy. Like, I know on some level it's like, oh, you know, it's for profit. Like, you want to extend things out for more seasons, but like, can't things just be good on their own? Like, can't we just have thing be good? Just make thing that is good and then have next thing also be good in a different way than the first thing is good. Why can't everything be good? Has to be like, first one is like a lead up to a second thing that happens in 2029 or something like that. Fucking hate that. So tired of it. That would be nice but hard. Why? Why is it so hard? I wish we could have content that was good. I didn't even have an issue with the setup. Like, all they had to do was make one more season of Arcane. That's all they had to do. One more season of Arcane, go more into the backstory on like the Black Rose shit. The Mel part was really rushed. I really hated that because it came out of fucking nowhere. Arcane was not expanded on. That ended on a cliffhanger. Like the Jace scenes were kind of cool, but like I had to like really think about. The thing is, I feel like if a show makes you rationalize parts of it, it's not well written enough. I also hate multiverses now. I'm fucking tired of multiverses. If I see another multiverse in a show, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Cause like, can we not? Like, can you just find a different mechanic that's not fucking multiverse? Please? Like, why? Why is it always that? Fuck multiverse, man. I'm so tired. Trying to write a grandiose concept for an ending, they weren't smart enough to do it in an adult and meaningful way. They didn't even end it that grand. It was like 30 minutes. The fight scenes could have been way better, by the way. Like, they're not even limited in terms of like actors or anything. So like, why couldn't they make the fights bigger? There's no limits. There was no limit on it. This is like a team that's using like a physics engine to make their stuff. They don't have actors or anything like that. Like, couldn't they have made the fights bigger and more dramatic? And Bessa walked in with this fucking terrible music that I hated. Hated that. Physics engine? Yeah. Arcane was animated in an engine, right? Like Unreal. It's a physics engine. That's like, they make the character models and then they rig the models to move, and then the engine takes care of all of the, like, you know, like the hair waving around. It's a physics engine. I hated Arcane. It's an example of bad fucking writing and we shouldn't encourage it. It's shit. I don't want to encourage it. We shouldn't encourage bad behavior. We gave it to the normies and they don't even know how to fucking read books anymore. Like, they're just like, relationships. Literally every single comment on Twitter that I saw was like, Jace loves Victor. Or like, Victor loves this person. Someone thought it would be a good idea to teach women to read. Hey! It's not related to women, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think it's related to women. It's a restaurant for fucking frogs. I run a frog restaurant. You have a good argument with it being Russian, but Ambessa attacked because of Kate Betrayal plus Victor promised super soldiers. She had no reason to attack Piltover. Absolutely zero reason. There was no logical reason to attack Piltover. What do you mean? Like, what was the reasoning? She was desperate? For fucking what? The whole reason she went to Piltover was because she needed a weapon. She wanted like a way to defeat magic, right? Like that was her whole thing. She was like, oh, magic bad. I want a way to get rid of it. Because it sucked. It was right there, why not? That doesn't make any sense! No leader is ever gonna do that. She wanted power, she thought Victor would give her everything. I don't think she gave a shit about Piltover though. A weapon? Yeah, she wanted a weapon to surpass the Metal Gear! That's literally what it was! I don't know. It's shit writing. After Caitlyn turns on her, she has to attack Piltover to secure Victor, the Hex Gate, and get her augmented soldiers. She already had the augmented soldiers. She just wanted more augmented soldiers? That seems a little bit weak, no? I hate when shows make you have to like rationalize the character. I really don't like that. If I'm watching a show, like I should be able to be like, oh yeah, this person's like thoughts are clearly defined to me. And I don't think that's because I'm stupid. I just feel like if you don't have like very clear cause defined over the course of your show, probably a bad fucking show, right? I'm not fucking dumb. It should be obvious. It should be in the show like that. Now I agree, right? It's bad writing if they aren't obvious. Makes sense. You can have outtakes, but holy shit, they spell this out multiple times. Victor says it, Jay said it. I don't think it makes sense. I just don't think it makes sense. Her wanting power is not, it doesn't fit with like the other narrative of her because the whole thing, like Ambessa's whole thing is caring about her family. Why would she attack it? Shouldn't she go searching for her daughter then? The Ambessa thing had to do with her seeking power to oppose a threat back home in Noxus that was related to Swain and some other characters. The desperation was multiplied because of her kids, still poorly executed. Poorly executed is poorly executed. There's no, you can't, like defending it doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, it's just bad. Bad is bad, guys. You can say it was spelled out, it was bad. Writers shouldn't lore dump the reader either. They should trickle information organically. Yeah, I think also, another issue, there's a lot. Like I could nitpick for 10 years. I think I could actually nitpick Arcane forever. Singed was in everything. Seriously? Singed was like the main character of the show. Why was he in everything? Why did he have to be the reason for all of it? He made Warwick, he created Shimmer. He also he fucked around with the robot soldiers. That was all Singed. And also Oriana's shown, but she doesn't actually have a role. She's just like an Easter egg for people. Why not Singed is based? He did everything in his lore. He did? Okay, excluding League lore, because I do play League, but I know that a lot of people who watch the show don't, and I don't think it's fair to people who watch the show and don't play League to not know things. I just feel like he's what is it called? Like an ex machina, right? He's just like an excuse for everything. He doesn't feel like an organic character. He just feels like, oh, why is this way? It's because of Singed. It's called a Deus Ex. It's a Deus Ex Machina? Thank you. Deus Ex. He's just a plot device. He only shows up when they need something to happen. And it could be other stuff. They have a billion other characters that they could possibly use. But every time something happens, it's fucking Singed. Like every single time. He's literally a walking plot device. And it's kind of stupid. Nice!
Part of it was that Singed was the only person who got a happy ending.
Oh yeah, he kind of did.
Which honestly reflects his in-game playstyle because that MF is the only happy person at the end of the game.
He actually is. He actually is really happy. Have they retconned people in the game since the recent stuff? I feel like they were retconning a bit, but then after a while it seemed like they started to just build on the existing stuff. They haven't retconned in a while, right? Like maybe just old things? I know Victor's getting a rework. I know that Victor's getting a rework, yes. Victor's completely different. Yeah, but he's a really old character. I don't think it's bad to rework the old characters. I think that the old characters were made at a different point in time when things were different. So I think it's actually okay for them to do that. But they haven't retconned anything that they've already retconned, right? No double rec. Don't care. Give me Ram. I really want Rammus. I want Rammus in a show too. I feel like that'd be so fucking funny. Rammus in the show? I'm so sad that there is no Rammus. Ugh. Sounds like justified creative freedom. You can retcon something. If your entire world changes, you should be allowed to retcon it. right? Like if you redo like an entire world and like a million new things pop up, I think you should be allowed to get like one redo. Like you add, like for Ari, right? In the League lore, Ari's like a random fox spirit thing, but they didn't really have like an animal person race at the time. So now they've made her like an animal race specifically. I think that's fine. It's fair. They didn't have it before. Now they do. You can retcon, but don't pull a George Lucas. I don't think anyone's pulling a George Lucas. I think they get one free retcon when they do big world changes. I think they should have left her fox spirit instead of animal race thing they have now. You know, I don't actually like the Vastaya thing either, but I think it's allowed. It's fine. What the fuck is that fish thing in the show though? Like, what is that? What is the fish thing? There were these fish things in the show? What the fuck is that? That came out of nowhere. Are we gonna have fish like Tom Kench or... No, Tom Kench is supposed to be a mythological, like, monster, right? Isn't Tom Kench supposed to be some, like, he's like a Yeti, or he's like a folklore kind of character where he shows up and eats you, and you're supposed to be, like, scared of him and tell scary stories to your kids kind of guy. That's what Tom Kench is. Kench was a demon? Yeah, he's like one of those demons you're like, don't go outside at night, or the Tom Kench will get you. Like, that's what he's supposed to be, and I don't know what these fucking fish people are. Depends how major their retconning is. Yeah, you can have one free retcon. There's a whole lot of fish people in Legends of Runeterra. Wait, really? Oh, really? Oh, Bilgewater!
I can anything like about League, but a lot of modern retcons are kinda bad.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of, retcons aren't great. Oh yeah, and by the way, in Arcane Season 2, they made those robots look very similar to the robots from Atomic Heart, and I couldn't help but think that it was like kind of specific and on purpose. Like, why did they have to make them very effeminate robots with heels? Like, you couldn't have made them like clunky man robots. You had to make them these creepy, like, feminine robots. Like, people are gonna fuck those, 100%. Someone's gonna wanna fuck those robots. Like, they knew what they were fucking doing. They made fuck robots on purpose. Fuck you, Arcane. Fuck you.